Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about equivalent fractions. So things that you're going to need for this. You're going to need this piece of paper, which you're going to cut out and glue on like so. Make sure you glue it on to the left side of the paper because we're going to write some things over here on the right side. So you're going to need colored pencils, you're going to need this paper, and scissors and glue to put it on here. So and also colored pencils. So if you don't have those things, pause the video right now and go get those things. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to get those and you've glued it in, and we're just going to talk about visually equivalent fractions for a bit. So go ahead, and at the top of it you will see that we have 1/2 and 1/2, and together of course they make a whole. And we're going to color in, and you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be perfect, but go ahead and color in 1/2. Again, I'm going to be using markers so it shows up better. You should be using colored pencils. So I'm going to color in 1/2. And I'm really going to just draw the line where that fraction ends, because that's really important. I want you to see that 1/2, and a lot of this is review, a 1/2 is equal to some other things, because if you find this line right here, but you can go straight down and find another line that matches up to it. Oh, look, there it is. And I'm just going to draw that there. Keep going. Notice there was no line in 1/3, so I left it alone. In the 5ths, there's no line. I'm going to leave it alone. The 6s, though, yes, there is. The 8s, yes. Oh, 10ths and 12ths. I'm going to draw it all the way down. And then I'm just going to color to the left of all of those things that all the lines I've drawn. Because 1/2 is the same as how many fourths? 1, 2, 2 fourths. How many 6? 1, 2, 3. 3 6. How many 8s? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 8s. How many 10ths? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 10ths. And how many 12ths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 12ths. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to color that in. You do as well. If you need extra time, pause the video. Okay, again, you do not have to be a perfect artist. It's just really for you to see the visual, that all of those things are equal to each other. So, those are the halves. Let's take a look at the third, a third right now. I'm going to choose a different color and color in 1/3. Draw that line. And I'm just going to look straight down and see if there's anything else that matches up with that line completely. So I have 1/3. Nothing in the 4ths, nothing in the halves, nothing in the 5ths, but look, right there in the 6th, something matches. Nothing in the 8ths, careful. Oh, but look in the 12ths, something matches as well. I'm going to very lightly color in with this color on top so I can see that those things match. So how many 6 is equal to 1/3? 1, 2. 2 6. How many 12ths is equal to 1/3? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 12ths. All right, let's do the 5th just because it's the only thing that hasn't been colored yet. I'm going to pick a different color again. Let's do orange here. For this one, a little different, and I'm going to actually do 4/5. 4/5. So I'm going to follow this line. No, doesn't match with anything above. Nothing in the 6th, nothing in the 8ths, but look, here in the 10ths, it matches. And nothing in the 12ths. So I'm going to color in again lightly over. So how many 10ths is equal to 4/5? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5ths, sorry. How many 10ths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 10ths. All right, so now you see it visually. I want you to see how we do this mathematically. So on the right side of your page, we're going to write some of these things down. So go ahead and get a pencil to write on the right side of your page. I'm going to do it on the board so you can see it better, but you're going to do it in your notebook. we took a look at 1/2, and we were saying that it was also the same as 2/4. So let's look at 1/2, and we saw how it was equal to 2/4 visually on the bars. But now we're going to see what we do when we're making equivalent fractions. Well, if we're trying to make equivalent fractions, and one of the fractions that we need to make has a denominator of 4, and one of the fractions that we need to make has a denominator of 2, one thing is we can say, well, how many 2's would go into 4? Well, of course, you know 2 2's would go into 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And in fractions, whatever you do to the top, you must also do to the bottom. You're basically multiplying by some whole. Because you don't want to change the value of this fraction, you only want to make it equivalent to this fraction. So, 2 times 2 is 4. Whatever we do to the denominator, we must also do to the numerator. So we multiply the denominator by 2, so we must multiply the numerator by 2. And we get 1 times 2 is equal to 2. And that's why they have an equivalent value, 1/2 and 2/4. Let's take a look at another one. 1/2, we also said, was equal to 4/8. So let's say, how many 2's would go into 8? Well, 2 times 4 equals 8. Whatever we do to the denominator, whatever we do to the denominator, we also have to do to the numerator. So we're going to multiply that by 4 as well, and 1 times 4 is 4. So that's why they are equivalent fractions. Okay. Hopefully you wrote both of those examples on the right side of your notebook. Now here comes another one. You want to make sure you write this down. We said that 1/3 was equal to 2/6, right? Well, again, what can we do to 3 to make it a 6? Well, multiply. Well, how many times can 3 go into 6? Well, it goes into it 2 times. Say it with me. Whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator. We have to, you don't want to change the value of the fraction. So 3 times 2 equals 6, and 1 times 2 equals 2. And again, if you're like, how is this working? Look on the left side of your page as well to where you just colored this in. We also said that 1/3 was equal to 3/9. Again, how many times does 3 go into 9? 3 times 3 equals 9. Whatever we do to the denominator, we also have to do to the numerator. 1 times 3 equals 3. Alright, so, that being said, let's talk about this 4/5 and 8/10. We said that 4/5, make sure you're writing this down, was equal to 8/10. How many times does 5 go into 10? 2 times, because 5 times 2 is 10. Whatever we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. 4 times 2 is 8. So, as you can see, you saw it visually with your fraction bars, and now you see it mathematically as well. And the reason that we have to do this, and the reason that we have to be able to make equivalent fractions, is because when we're adding and subtracting fractions, you must have a common denominator, which means your denominators must be the same before you can add or subtract, or order fractions, compare fractions, all these things that we're going to be doing with fractions. You already know how to add fractions that have the same denominator. Now you're going to learn how to add and subtract fractions that don't have the same denominator, which is making an equivalent fraction to find that common denominator. And then it's just as easy as all the things you've been doing before. So it's just that one extra step that you have to do. So I'm going to put a couple on the board, and I want you to try them yourself. So write these down. let's see, we want to know what is equivalent to 6/12 is equivalent to how many, oh, excuse me, 36, sorry, 36 is equivalent to how many 12s? Okay, what can we do to this 6 to make it into a 12? Or how many times would 6 go into 12? So it goes into it 2 times because 6 times 2 is 12. Whatever we do to the denominator, we also have to do to the numerator. So of course that would be 6/12. All right, I'm going to put 1, let you do it by yourself this time. So go ahead and write it down, pause it until you solve it, and then come back and we'll go over the answer. All right, so hopefully you've had a chance to solve it. How many times does 4 go into 16? 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. Whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator, so this becomes 12/16.